Hello, hello. Here we are on this beautiful Monday, and I'm Renee McLaughlin, and I had scheduled us to do a great Q&A today. So if any of you have comments when you're on, come on over, say hi to me so I know who's on. Love to have a few hearts set if that's something that you're feeling is appropriate. So let's get right to it. I put on a few of the questions that I thought would be great ones to answer today because these are the ones that I get the most often. So for those of you who are new to T-Tapp, maybe you've heard about it, maybe you've been referred by somebody who's gotten some great results and you're like, what is this thing that's with the tap dancing and the tap? And maybe you went to T-Tapp.com and what the heck is that? That has nothing to do with what I thought it was going to have to do. Yes, well, welcome to the world of T-Tapp. And just a quick, I want to give you just a 5 little second. Why can you not find anything on T-Tapp when you go there? Well, T-Tapp is a workout that was developed by a wonderful visionary. Her name was Teresa Tapp, and she created this beautiful, I like to call it a method of movement, but it was a series of workouts that she created in order to help originally high fashion models cinch their bodies in, especially after they'd have babies, and she'd have to get them to do it quickly. That she was what was called a new face developer. And then over time, she retired from there and decided she wanted to make this workout available to everyone. And this was well over 22 years ago, 23 years ago. We didn't have the internet like we have it now. It was that dial up. And anyway, so she created this workout on these big videos and people started getting them, and totally through word of mouth and some public relations that she was able to generate, just created this underground amazing movement because people would get this workout and start to do it and have great results. So I became a trainer. I found it and started doing the workout way back, well, before the towers fell. So that tells you how long ago. And I just knew there was something to this workout and I wanted to learn it inside and out and share it. And that's what I've been doing all of these years. And I will tell you that it is really just, it's kind of a phenomenon. It's an amazing workout where even people who have never been able to really get great results got great results. But I'll tell you who really loved this workout and seemed to get the best results. And those are those of us who are not, I'm going to use this term, gym rats. You know, yes, the women who were out there doing extreme workouts and maybe it was too much and they got exhausted and weren't getting the kind of results, they would try it and get results. But really, it's such a great workout because it's for those of us who just don't tend to go to the gym. We weren't extreme workout people, or when we did, it just wasn't something that we were comfortable doing. But we could put these videos or then DVDs in, and we could do this workout in a short period of time in our living rooms or our bedrooms, and we got great results. And I think that was really a huge reason that the workout really was so popular. And then over the years, Teresa would do something where she would have each year a 60-day challenge where you would do one of the workouts, or every year was a little bit different with the rules, and people would take before pictures and measurements and submit them, and then you would do the workout in whatever schedule you chose. It didn't matter. She never told us what schedule. And then at the end of 60 days, report back on the results with pictures, measurements, and then any story or anything that you'd like to share with that. And from there, she would go on and she would kind of pick the top people. And then she would allow those people to come to a fitness retreat. We would have a fitness retreat just about every year for about, I don't know, it seemed like 20 years, but at least that amount in Safety Harbor, Florida. We'd all get together and she'd teach for a few days and people would come on. And each year people would come up on the stage and just share and report their results. And that was absolutely breathtakingly amazing because people would have these incredible stories. Now, if you're new to T-Tapp and you're like, well, where would I even start to hear them? After this, I will go on and kind of share a couple of links. You can go on the YouTube T-Tapp channel, and there is a whole playlist there with people who would come up on stage and share their stories. So this is going to get me to another part of one of the questions, which is, how can I stay motivated? And I'll get to that in a minute. You can listen to how the workout really helped other people. And I find that that gives us hope, where we start to listen to other women just like us who are having all kinds of different challenges, health challenges, family health challenges, emotional challenges, and yet they did the workout and got just amazing results. So now, where we're at now, since you can't just go to T-Tapp and maybe buy the DVDs, they really aren't available. Some of them are. If you go to Amazon, you can search for basic workout and total workout. That was where the workouts started, with those two. Let me just quickly share, from those of you who might be, again, new and not knowing, the workout began with what Teresa called total workout. And total workout actually has two parts. She had the first part of total workout, which took, actually, she called it the 15 minutes, but when you added hoedowns to it, it was actually 18 minutes long. And people loved it because it was fast and furious, right? You could get your whole workout in 18 minutes. That was the first part of total workout. And so she had an instructional where she taught, and she taught her technique, and then you had it straight through 18 minutes. And then you had a second DVD or video, depending on how long it's been, but all the way back, you'd have the second one, which then had the second part, which she called the second part of total, which started with lunges and went all the way through. It had a whole other, was actually a little bit more challenging. And then she would do that teaching, and then the full thing. Now, if you wanted the whole total workout, it was 1 and 2 all together, but she separated them. And I would say that probably 85% of all T-Tappers only really did the first part, or the basic workout plus. That was how she originally started the workout. And then from there, she did what she called more, which was a little bit more modified, and went from there. She had her beautiful floor workouts, and then she continued on through. As she got a little older, we all got a little bit older, and then she did more that was more fascia fitness and more related to more of, I don't want to even just say an aging body, because listen, people in their 20s and teens really could get great results using some of the modifications. Now, that was where the history is. Coming a little bit more fast forward, as when Teresa passed, a few of us kind of decided to carry the torch forward, because now when people wanted it, where would you go? So if you are just starting and wanting to know, all right, you're giving me all this, now what do I do with it? Well, I created a package of recordings that you can go on. They're all streaming digital. I do not have them on any kind of a DVD. It's streaming. And I call it T-Tapp Method 101. Where I went in and did that instructional type of workout videos, where each move in the 18 minutes, I'll call it 15 minutes because that's what everybody knows by, but it's actually 18 minutes, 15 minutes. I took every move and I gave you a video where I slowed it all down, because Teresa went kind of fast. I slowed it all down and showed you exactly how to do every move in that 15 minutes. And I added modifications. So if you have challenging knees, if you have some back issues, you'll get some good modifications so you can still do the workout. And then at the end, I also gave you a workout, the basic workout, so you can practice it. So I'd highly recommend, if you're new to the workout, even if you're an advanced person, an advanced exerciser, but you still want to try it, that's the place to start with. So you really understand the technique, because it really is a specific technique. T-Tapp Method 101. And again, I'll put links on here. Right now, through tomorrow morning, you can get 25% off of that by using my coupon code BDAY25. So you're going to get a coupon code. That one will work on all of these that I'm going to talk about today. All right, that's where to start with to learn how to do it. Now, if you're somebody who really wants to know all the ins and outs, that's where you go. If you're somebody that like, Renee, it's okay, just give me the workout. Well, then you want to go to my basic workout plus that I have. Again, it's just straight through. Now, one of the challenges that we've always found with Teresa is she was so brilliant, but she did tend to talk really fast and she moved really fast. And I find for most of us, we need to have it slow down a little bit, especially so that we can really take and listen to what she's saying, put it in our bodies, like push down, stretch, take the moves one part at a time, really get it into our bodies and go forth. So I did that one, and Basic Workout Plus went from being 18 minutes to 40 minutes to do the whole thing, but slow down so you can do it. So if you're somebody that's like, I don't want all that one-on-one and all that, I just want to go through and do it, and I'm sure that over time I'll learn it, which you absolutely will, you can always go in and just get that one. And that one's just $10 normally. So tonight you can get it for $7.50, and you'll have it forever. Take it, start doing it, work it out. No, you might not do it right the first few times, but trust me, you should be able to pick it right up and get that great result. Now, the second part of Total, I again filmed, and we call that T-Tapp Method 102. The same thing. Actually, that was filmed a few years ago. I did it along with my daughter. So she's also a trainer, actually worked in the T-Tapp office for a few years, worked right with Teresa, and the two of us teach that along with it. So if that's the second part and you're ready, you've done the first part and you want to get a little bit more, it has lunges and balance and arms and some more twisting and torso work. That's a great one. You might want to get T-Tapp Method 102, and then I also have Total 2. Now, Total 2 was a little bit longer, and that one I actually broke up into 2 workouts. So again, we can slow it down and you can really get it. They're 2 40-minute workouts, and you have all of that as well. That one's normally $15. So again, they're really affordable. Get them, take your time, and you can work with them. So even though we don't have t-tapp.com anymore, you've got everything you need. How about if you're somebody that really wants a little bit more shorter, but a little bit of variety? Well, I put together a class package called 3 Moves to Transformation. And in that one, you get 10 classes, because I happen to be somebody that loves a little bit of variation and variety. There are 10 classes, and each class just consists of 3 different T-Tapp moves. And they're all different. And they're from the 15-minute and the second part. So you can really get all of it. And there's not one that's any longer than, I think, 23 minutes. Some of them it's anywhere from 11 minutes to 23. And I tell you exactly what moves in each one. So that's another great one. So if you're looking, how can I be consistent? One of the things that happened for me is I need some variety. Otherwise, you're going to get bored, right? Some people, and I find some of my clients love the routine. I just want to learn it, and I just want to do the same thing over and over again. And I understand that. And one of the things with T-Tapp is you can do that and continue to get results as long as you continue to learn how to activate your muscles so that every time you do it, you get deeper and deeper in it. So it's one of the things that Teresa liked to say, that with T-Tapp, you don't have to do more. You just have to continue to go to your max each time you go. Otherwise, if you just get into rote and you're not really thinking about it and you're just kind of doing it to tick it off the to-do list, yes, you're still going to get some movement in, right? And you're still going to activate your muscles, but you may not continue to lose inches, etc. until you give your body the next challenge. So that's why I love having some variation, because it keeps both the brain and the body challenged. That's how we move forward, both from a brain standpoint, but also from a balance standpoint. We have got to challenge the body. So, and thanks so much, you guys. Hi, Margie, good to see you. And Catherine's on. Blessings to you, girl. And Sunny, thank you so much. You're distracted by my arms. Thanks. And you know what? They're T-Tapp, great arms. I don't use weights, but again, muscle activation, it works. It really, really does. All right, let me keep on going. Now, can I lose weight with T-Tapp? Now, this is a loaded question. It's a biggie, you guys, but I get it all the time. So I'm going to break this question down just a little bit. And this is what I mean by that. What do we mean by weight? So many of us, especially those of us who are just a little bit older, we kind of grew up where it was all about the weight in the scale, wasn't it? But what is weight? Well, weight is your lean tissue, your muscle, your organs, your bones. Some of us do have thinner bones than others. Some of us are larger breasted. Let's face it, that's weight, is it not? Others of us are not. So you don't have as much weight there going forward. There's fluid, there's water, there's lymph fluid. There's so much, in other words. And there's our fat. So losing weight is really not the best feedback you can get. So what we always say with T-Tapp is, you know, you want to lose inches. Teresa used to always say, and I can't agree more, that it's not, nobody cares what your weight is on a scale, right? How do we look in our clothes? How do we feel in our bodies, right? Are we healthy? Do we have good energy? Are we strong? Do we feel empowered? These are the things that movement really should be all about. Now, with T-Tapp, especially when you're just starting, Teresa would always recommend that we do she would call it, and this always sounds so intense, a boot camp. What is that? Well, the way that she would describe it is that you would do the workout, wherever you're at with the workout, the 18 minutes, if you do 20 minutes, if you do the total, it's up to wherever you are from a fitness level, but that you would do the workout anywhere from 4 days to 14 days in a row. Why would you go longer? Well, if you had more inches to lose, or you were just able, in my opinion, to go ahead and do more, but you didn't want to do it more than 14 days in a row. Now, what was the 4 days in a row about? Well, she would claim that if you would start to do it 4 days in a row, that you would actually be able to offset or overcome just a metabolic advantage, right? And put that muscle memory into the body. So 4 days in a row, and then if you could continue. Now, let's say you did it 2 days in a row, and for some reason you couldn't do it on the third day. If you really want the best results, you would need to go back and start again for the 4 days in a row. Now, what you might find is that day 3 is pretty challenging. By day 4, could be challenging, maybe not quite as much. And then as you went on, you might find that you were just getting stronger and you were okay to do that. So she would have us do that boot camp and then go every other day to maintain the success. Now, each of us have our own lifestyles and how much we can do and what we can do. So that's just a generality. Can you lose weight? Well, her idea with that was not so much about losing weight, but when you started, especially if you had not been really doing a lot of fitness up till then, that, excuse me, that when you are doing the T-Tapp, because you're activating those muscles, that you would actually be burning fat and at the same time building muscle. Now, let's think about that for a moment. Let's say that you burn off a pound of fat, but you're also building a pound of muscle. In the end, you're going to lose inches, but you might not lose much weight. And what we've found over all these years is that T-tappers will tend to weigh more than you'd ever imagine, but yet be tight and toned. Now, think about this for a moment. People say, oh, muscle weighs more than fat. No. When you think about that, a pound is a pound is a pound. It doesn't matter what the pound is. 1 pound is 1 pound. Here's the difference. 1 pound of fat is fluffy. Fat's fluffy, but it's still a pound, right? So let's just say that a pound of fat is fluffy. It takes up this much space. A pound of muscle is like this. It's tight and toned. It takes up much less space. Not only that, but your muscle is metabolically active. What that means is that your muscle is burning energy all through the day without you doing anything. So the more muscle that we have on our body, the more metabolically active our body is burning more energy or using more energy even at rest. So the more muscle that we have in our body, the more we can actually eat without having an issue and without gaining weight. Okay, so that's one of the reasons that as we get a higher and higher amount of body fat, yes, it seems like we can barely eat anything. Why? Because we don't have a lot of metabolically active tissue. So that's why you want to get as much muscle on the body as possible. Let's go all the way back then to the first time when you're doing your boot camp and you're really doing your T-tap. You are burning down the fat, but building the muscle. So let's go all the way back to the question. Can you lose weight with T-tap? Well, let's change the wording. Can you lose inches with T-tap? Absolutely. Now, when you go to those success stories, if you do go there on YouTube and you listen to some of the ladies who talk about their 60-day results, a lot of them are going to show you how, yes, they did lose weight. But I think you're also going to hear how they might have lost weight, but what they really lost was inches. That's the way to do that. Now, one of my favorite T-tappers, she might be on now or listening later, I know she's always working, is Alyssa, and she asked in one of the groups, you know, Renee, I know that you can lose weight, yes, because she's been around long enough to know that, but what's your secret to losing it by activating even more, etc.? And, you know, here's the thing. Again, over the years, there have been people who have just lost amazing amounts of weight in inches just doing the workout. They swear up and down they didn't change a thing other than doing the workout. So it's possible. It's been done, okay? And it's not been done just by 1 or 2 people. It's been done by hundreds and hundreds of women in all different age groups. All I can tell you is it's possible. But what I can also tell you is there's been so many of us who have done the exact same things and not had those kinds of amazing, amazing results. Now, have they had results? I really believe that every woman that does the workout is going to have results. You can't not. But why do some people have more results or more inch loss results than others? Well, here's the thing, and we know this, right? There are so many variables to this. What variables? Well, let me ask questions like, where are you in terms of your hormone balance? Are you going through perimenopause? That absolutely makes a difference, okay? Are you in menopause? Makes a difference. Are you in just maybe having had a baby and your hormones are in a different place? That makes a difference. So hormonal balance makes a huge difference with this. How about stress? Ladies, stress levels make a huge difference. If your cortisol levels are up, if you're adrenal exhausted, that makes a difference. And there's all kinds of different things that you need to do during all these different hormonal times. I'm sorry, I do believe and have seen that nutrition makes a difference. It just does, okay? You cannot T-tap off a poor diet. You can't offset a large amount of processed food and a lot of sugar and too much fat by T-tapping it off. It just doesn't work. Try it. You're going to see that I'm right. Now, there's not one nutritional program that works perfectly for all of us. And so that's something when I work with my clients, we fine tune that for each person at each stage. But let's face it, we have to just be honest with ourselves. Nutrition does matter. Sleep. Sleep matters. If you're not getting your nice, deep 7 to 8 hours of sleep, that throws everything off. That might be challenging. So there's so many different parts. With the whole idea of form and T-tap, I'm always so conflicted about how much I want to talk about this. Here's why I say this. Because does form matter? Well, you know what? When you're first beginning, just learning how to do the movement, that's its own thing. And you will start to get results because you've never done that before. But then there becomes a point in time where people feel like they're not getting results because they're not doing it perfectly. And there's no such thing as that, okay? So you do it to the best of your ability. And if you become too I find that that whole idea of perfection can be used to allow us to sabotage ourselves. So there's a fine line between doing it perfectly, doing it right, and then just saying, well, if I can't do it right, I just won't do it at all. Or if I don't do perfectly, I'm going to bulk up. And that's just ridiculous. So we do it the best of our ability, and then we let it go and just know that T-Tap will do for you, you know, as well as you're going to be consistent with it. So I know that's a lot, but I hope that that's at least helpful to a little extent. Now, the other thing that I will share with you too, and I can leave it down there, if you're just not sure about what you might be doing, I'm going to go to the last question, and this will all kind of connect together, which is, can I do T-tap if I have bad knees, a bad back, bad vertebrae, fused vertebrae, I can't turn, I have diastasis recti, all of these questions. And one of the things that also really concerns me is that people come on into a group and they ask these questions, and then all of us really well-meaning T-tappers start to give our opinions about this. And I get a little bit concerned because if some of you have really significant physical challenges, you know, you need to get more professional advice about that because you don't want to get hurt. So we can give our general opinions. And I think it's really, if you really have those kinds of challenges, then I'm going to suggest you ask your physical therapist, your chiropractor, your osteopath. You know, these are the people that know you the best. And if they don't feel like this kind of movement is good for you, that's who you need to listen to. I also offer a 15-minute one-on-one consultation with me so that we can I can share and I can see what your challenges are, whether it is bad knees, etc., bad back, and then I can maybe help you customize that to whatever challenges you have. The same thing with the weight. So I offer that. I've offered that for years. Not a lot of people take me up on it, but I'm going to offer it again so that, you know, we know that you're getting the best information that you possibly can to get results. All right, so we got that together. Now, two more questions I had on there. One is, how can I stay motivated? And the other is, how can I stay consistent? To some extent, they go together, don't they? So I want to quickly address the idea of motivation. And I like to separate the ideas of inspiration versus motivation. Let me start with inspiration first. Yes, we need sometimes to just find some inspiration, don't we? For me, inspiration is more about, it's more about understanding, is getting hope. You know, sometimes when we just feel like we've tried everything and we just don't know where to turn, it doesn't seem to be working, or maybe the whole last year with COVID and isolation, and we're just feeling hopeless. We need some inspiration, right? That's where I would say going to listening to the women who have had great success with T-Tapp, being inspired. That to me is a great place, is getting inspired by other people's stories and going, okay, if they can do it, we can do it. I try to do that in our T-Tapp Tips group on Facebook. We have a lot of challenges and those kinds of things, and going into the group and asking people to share their success stories. That's why we want to share success stories, so that when we have success, we can inspire others and let you know that, yes, this works. Come on, let's inspire each other. But motivation is a whole different ballgame. At least it is in my opinion. Motivation's an inside job. So I always like to say, first of all, what is it that you are looking to have happen? What is it that you need to feel motivated for yourself to get out and start to move? Motivation's an inside job. So I'm sure you've always heard the whole idea when we're setting goals. What's your why? Why would you want to get up and do the movement? Why would you want to get out of your natural daily habit of maybe not moving and start to put some of this actually into action? You need to understand what it is you're looking for and why you want to do it. If you cannot come up with your why, then there's no way to get yourself motivated. And your why is so individual to you. Maybe your why is because you don't want to not be able to get up and down off the floor by yourself. Maybe your why is because you need to be able to help your grandchildren or play with your kids or help somebody in your family. Or maybe your why is because you've watched your parents, degrade and not be able to be strong enough to help themselves, and you've had to be a caregiver, and you don't want somebody else, yourself, to have caregiver to you. Everybody's a why, but you have to dig deep to find your why. And once you have it, really write it down and know what that why is, so that when, the day comes and the time comes in the day when you've got to get up and do it, what's your why? If it's not strong enough, then you're probably not going to be able to do it. If you need some help finding your why, again, I ask you to come on and spend 15 minutes with me, and we can kind of take a look at coming up with some ways and some reasons that you might want to do it, and from there, beginning to do movement. The second part of the motivation then for me is, if you wait to always feel motivated, you're never going to do it. You just won't. So I say to myself, you know what? Believe me, there are days when I'm just not motivated to get myself up out of that chair and come on, putting on a video and working out. I'm just not. But you know what? I do it anyway. Are you motivated every day to brush your teeth? Do you go, oh boy, I just can't wait to get up and brush my teeth? No, but do you brush your teeth anyway? Yes. Why? Because you have a why. You don't want to lose your teeth. That's why, correct? You do it anyway. What are some other things that maybe you don't really want to do, but you want the results of that? Maybe cleaning the kitchen. Do you really feel like cleaning the kitchen every day? No, but you do it. Why? Because you don't want to go into that kitchen and see all those dishes sitting there. That's your why. It can be really as easy as that. What are the things you do every day that you're just not motivated to do, but you do anyway? Why? Because you want the results. Think about it like that, and then schedule it. Put it in your calendar, and put it in your calendar in pen. Why do I say in pen? You understand? Because make your movement not negotiable. It's not like, well, I'll put it in, oh, but my daughter needs me, my son needs me, the window washer's coming. Everybody else gets your time, but not you. You cannot give to others from an empty cup. And one of the things that will fill you up is your movement. So I hope that helps. That's how you can begin to to be motivated to do it. Now, how do you then stay consistent? The same way. Putting it in the calendar. I'm going to do it here, here, and here. Maybe today I'm going to do 15 minutes. The next day, maybe I'm going to do some stretches. The next day, I'm going to do a little something. Maybe I'll do a 10-minute quickie, and then I'm going to you get the picture. Put it in the calendar and do that. Now, for me, I'm going to going back to a little something that I mentioned before, and that is we have to know ourselves and what motivates us to be consistent. There's that motivation and consistency, right? And I say it in this way because some people love consistency, meaning they really love to do the same thing all the time. That's just how they're made, okay? That's fine. Then that's the workout. Find the movements, the workouts that you love and you enjoy, and put those in the calendar, and those are the ones you are going to do. For me, I love variety, and I really believe that there is a great benefit to having some variety, okay? And that is that when you have variety, you're working the brain, giving it novel movements, which is how we keep our brains juicy, and different movements that can help challenge the body. So challenge by doing some different things, help brain and body. So I love variation. And that's why, if you come on, I love my monthly membership, because every day I teach a different workout and I put it up there. Every day you can have a little different variety. And there's so much variety that each day you can kind of choose. Do I want to do a stretch? Do I want to do a T-Tap? Maybe if you're somebody that loves the bar, you can do the bar classes. And they're all there, and every day there's something different. I really believe there's a good benefit to that, and that helps me be consistent, because I know each day I got to go in there and do something else to challenge. So I believe those are some good ways to create consistency. Keep it novel, keep it new, keep yourself moving forward, give yourself some new inspiration by watching others, and also by sharing with others, allowing us to have that beautiful community. That's why I love having our T-Tapp group. I love having, interaction in the Facebook group. This is also being broadcast into my YouTube channel. Come on and do comments on the YouTube channel. Let's continue to create community, because together we can help each other. We can give and share. Giving and sharing our results, and then enjoying those successes of others. That's how we create beautiful community. So I hope that I gave you some good tips and answered some questions. I'm just going to come over here and look to see if there are any other questions that maybe I can answer or just share, because I'm on a few different platforms, so you might not all see everybody's comments. So, and Angel said, I lost 20 inches and only 6 pounds, but it all equated to a whole clothing size. And that is just a beautiful, thank you so much, Angel, for sharing that. That's a beautiful example. And I happen to know Angel, and she is a great T-Tapper. She's been doing this for many years, and she is a combo. And Teresa used to say combos, it's challenging for them to lose a clothing size because they gain and lose equally all over. So she lost a whole clothing size in that amount. 20 inches equated to 6 pounds in a clothing size. So again, you get that idea that as you gain muscle, you lose weight, but you're cinching in, and that is such a beautiful thing. And thank you, Sean, for my birthday wishes. I so appreciate that. And Catherine said, yes, you can, even if you're on a walker. And that's where Kat started. She's unbelievable. Her story is amazing. That's also on my YouTube channel, I believe. It might also be on the T-Tapp channel. I know Catherine's on there, and Kat had just an incredible story. So regardless of where you're starting from, Kat was on a walker. She could barely move. She had so much pain, neck and shoulder. She was on over 20 medications, and she just started. She began from there and just continued to move forward, doing the T-Tapp movements. She worked with the videos. She worked with me, and actually went all the way to becoming a trainer herself. So yes, you can, from wherever you're starting with. And Nicole asked, can we interchange the different workouts in the 3 moves? Yes, absolutely. Is there a particular sequence that's ideal? So that's ideal. There's no way, Nicole, for me to say this exact thing is ideal for everything and everyone. You know, it's going to you just have to play with it to see what's ideal for you. Different body types, different people, different times of the life, different age and stage. Here's what I will say. In that package of 3 moves, I put them all together, and I put them in the right sequence as in terms of each of the 3, meaning Teresa used to say you can split them up, but do them in the sequence in which they are in the workout. In other words, you always want to warm the spine up. So I always did some spinal workouts, spinal moves, curls and scoops when we first start, even in the 3 moves. So you know you're going to open up the energy channels in the spine, warm the back up before you go off and do any of the other moves. So any of those in the 3 moves, any and all of them, I'm going to say are ideal. Split them up if you want to do your boot camp. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Just go right on through it, and they should all be just fine for you. Thanks. That was a great question. And thanks, Kat. I was just looking for that too. Kat did, for her, she lost 25 inches during the 60-day challenge. And she said, yes, nutrition is key. And I agree with that. One of the additional things, since we're still on here, that I want to say, Cynthia has a question, so let me answer that one. If we use 3 moves, are we getting a full body workout, or do we need to supplement? You're getting a full workout with the 3 moves. Now, here's something else that I just want to mention to you. A lot of people, again, this is going to go back to that weight loss with the T-Tapp and how much do we have to do and that kind of thing. I want you to think about this, okay? What are you doing the rest, all the other, I'm just going to assume you're awake. Let's just say 12, let's say maybe 15 hours of your 24 hours in the day. 15 hours we're awake. What are you doing in those 15 hours for the most part? Are you sitting? Let's say you're sitting for 13 hours of the day, meaning you're not really moving much for 13 hours in the day. And then we get up and we do our 15-minute move, or we do our 23-minute 3 moves to transformation, and then we sleep for the rest of it. So let's just say for the majority of the 24 hours, for 22 out of the 24 hours in a day, you're not moving. And we expect that 20 minutes should take care of it all, and we should just cinch it all in and off we go. That's a pretty big ask. Now, I found that T-Tapp works. You can already see a couple of our T-Tappers have come on and shared that, yeah, they really did a great job with it and lost all those inches. But think about this. Is it full body? It is. And if you did it once in the morning and once at night, what might happen? Well, you're just moving. You're giving yourself a little metabolic boost, a little muscular muscle workout in the morning and maybe in the afternoon. Is that overtraining? Probably not, because for the most part, we're not moving most of the day. The more that you move the body, and I'm just saying movement because I like to say that all movement matters. The body doesn't know the difference between gardening, which is a lot of movement and a lot of lifting, between gardening and T-tapping and moving and walking and all the other stuff that you do. It doesn't know the difference between that and doing your workout. Move, move, move. The more you can move your body, the better you're going to feel, the better your health, the more you're going to be able to utilize that blood sugar that's being put in your body. So I hope that also, I know that's a little bit of tough love. It's a little tough love, but you guys can handle it. You know what I'm saying is true. All right, what else? I'm just making sure that I didn't miss anybody right here that had a question that's showing up. So I hope that those help. Now, again, through tomorrow morning, B-Day 25, all those packages, you still have your 25% off. They are all keepers. So you get to have them and do them and use them and get your great results. But I do also want to say, if you are someone now who's been doing it for a while and you're like, Renee, we just want basic workout at the same fast tempo that Teresa did. I just want 18 minutes, get it in, get it done. It's almost ready for you. In another day or so, I'm going to announce it. I'll have that for you too, for that same price at the $10 that it was. So just get ready. I got that one almost ready. And anything else that you guys want, you know, you just let me know. All right. So Cynthia, yes, thanks for spitting the truth. I need to hear it, right? I mean, we want that magical thinking like, oh, if we just do these 3 moves every other day, I'm just going to cinch right in and I can just eat what I want and do what I want and not move for the rest of the time. And I can't. In all good faith, I can't tell you that because it's just not true. And we know that, but sometimes, yeah, we need to just bring it all the way right down to brass tacks and understand that, you know what, it's just not, that's not how it works. And when we get older, it doesn't get easier, you guys, it doesn't, right? It requires discipline. It requires a good why. And you know what? For me, my why is I want to be strong and empowered for absolutely as long as I can, right? So I eat very, very clean. I'm very disciplined with it. No, I'm not perfect. It's not about perfection. I don't feel deprived because for me, eating really good, clean, lean protein and green vegetables, for me, I love that because I know that's fueling my body, keeping me strong. And then I do my movement to keep those muscles where they are, right? But I'm not extreme. I don't do anything extreme. I'm not out there lifting tons of weight. Extreme does not work, especially as you get older. Discipline works, extreme does not. Right, and we need a little bit of sweetness in order to just make life worth living. We need that joy. We need that joy wherever we can find it. And I find it in doing the movement. I find it in sharing with you guys. I find it in our community. I find it with you. And so I just love you guys. Thank you. Thanks for coming on. Thanks for commenting. And if you're watching this as a recording, you're involved as well. Keep commenting. Let's keep this thread going. And tomorrow I'm going to come on later, probably in the evening, with our new move for the week. All right. In the meantime, have a beautiful evening. Keep going. And I'll see you again soon. Thanks, you guys.